morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, great Biafrans and lovers of freedom. This is Radio Biafra HAUSA-SERVICE coming to you through the auspices of Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Chika from Alu province of Biafra land. Today is the 25th day, being Saturday, 25th day of June in the year of our Lord 2022. Without taking any much time, I will hand over the platform to the head of the Directorate of States of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Chika Edoziem, to take over and talk to the whole world. Mazi, over to you. The whole world is hearing you. Please go on.
Greetings to all of you great Biafrans all over the world. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and good night to you, depending on your time zone. My name is Mazi Chika Edoziem. I come from Ihe-Oma. Ihe-Oma is in Olu province of Biafra land. By the mercy and grace of Chukwu Okike Abiyama Promiheline, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of directorate. Wonderful Biafrans, I want to begin tonight with a commendation to all wonderful, all hardcore, all committed Biafrans that participated either physically or those who were spreading the message of the Biafran, IPOB, Amazonian, and Oduduwa Yoruba Nation 1 million man march in the city of Brussels, Belgium, on the 14th and 15th of this very month, June 2022. I want to commend all of you, those who came from far and near, from Canada, USA, from Asia, from Africa, and of course, from all the countries in Europe. You all, not only the Biafran people, but as well the Amazonian and the Oduduwa Nation brothers, you all did exceptionally well. And I want to assure all of you that that very, very outing, that historical event in Brussels, in fact, it was very successful, and the effects are still resounding across the length and breadth of our earth, of the world. The result on the effect of that very, very powerful outing is still reverberating all over the world. And specifically to IPOB family members, this outing, which was done in order to make sure that the incarceration, the extraordinary rendition of our leader, is brought to the forefront, is made a topical issue amongst nations and heads of government, amongst those who are in charge of the European continent, the leaders, I can assure you that objective has been achieved to a very great extent. And therefore, we must continue to do what we are supposed to be doing as IPOB family members worldwide. We must remain faithful, loyal, committed. We must remain dedicated and devoted to our core principles and our core objectives. And like I said on the day of that very event, there is no other reason why heaven has mandated our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, to gather the children of Chukwuabiama together in order to pursue this very, very noble cause. The emancipation of the Biafran people from the quagmire that is called the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. The freedom and liberty of the Biafran people from the hellhole the British put together and called it a country. And our leader, we all know, gathered all of us. And we are doing what we have to do despite the challenges that we have encountered, we are encountering on a daily basis. Chukwuabiama has been our help and our strength. And we are moving from victory, from one battle to victory, or for another battle. Our leader, like he is worth doing, has all of us in his thoughts and in his prayers. He does not concern himself with his own condition, with all the inhuman treatment that he is receiving, the torture that he is being put through. He is concerned about the well-being of those he has gathered together under this very umbrella called the indigenous people of Biafra worldwide. We are all in his thoughts and prayers, therefore we must as well continue to present him before heaven in all our supplications and in all our prayers, that Chukwuokike, who has brought him out to carry out this very journey, to carry out this very job, must at all times fill him with the spirit of Chukwuabiama, the strength, the wisdom that he will require and that he needs at this time of trial which he is passing through on our behalf. I must hasten to add, the trial he is passing through is on the behalf of the people he loved. Unquestionably, he loved us, and that is why he has committed his time and energy to carry out this very, very onerous task. And we must assist him by continuing to do what he expects us as a family to do. And together we shall celebrate his freedom and celebrate the freedom of the Biafran people and the Biafran nation. And why? How do we do this? We know that the month, this very month, the 28th to be precise, 28th of June 2020 is the court date, our court date, the Biafran people's court date with the zoo called Nigeria. We are being represented in that court by our leader, because that they are putting him on trial, they are putting all of us on trial. They are putting all of us as a people on trial. So that's why I always say it is our court date, and our leader is the one that is representing us. So on the 28th of this month, next week to be precise, that will be a Tuesday. Next Tuesday is the court date that we have in Abuja. And what we usually do on this date is that we will be with our leader physically and spiritually as he goes to court. Our solidarity with him must continue in the way it has always been. Those of us in the diaspora, those who have already planned for awareness protests, must go on with their awareness protests, especially those in the UK. We must continue because UK is the source. United Kingdom, Britain is the source of our present predicament. And we must not fail to, let them understand that. And they also will be part of the solution to our predicament. So those who have planned protests in the diaspora, please go ahead with the protest, not in Biafra land, I must say, so that people do not in any way misinterpret this tonight's broadcast. In Biafra land and the zoo as it is, we will observe our usual civil disobedience. There shall be a total lockdown in Biafra land on Tuesday, the 28th of June 2022. A sit-at-home across the length and breadth of the Biafran territory. And this time around, I call upon those Biafrans who are doing their businesses in Abuja to ensure that they solidarize with our leader. For that very day, you are called upon to, even if you have to do it for half a day, close your businesses in solidarity with Nnamdi Kanu, who is being brought and tried in the zoo court on June 28th. Make yourself physically present or physically available because you are in Abuja. Therefore, it will not cost you much to close your businesses during the morning, and after the trial, you can still open it if you wish. But the Biafra land shall be locked down for the whole of that very day. Please, businessmen and businesswomen, this battle is not just for IPOB alone. Although I must agree that the Biafran people in Biafra land, you have all been doing marvelously and wonderfully well. We must all continue in that path. We must all continue in that direction. And on Tuesday, please, we do not wish to see any movement in Biafra land. All transport owners and transporters, please, you must take note. Nobody will need to come and enforce anything, but because you all are doing this willingly and consciously. But it is important that I remind, because many may not know that this day or the 28th is the D-Day again. So that is why I'm reminding all people, all schools in Biafra land, all government workers, civil servants, wherever you may be in that part of the world. Market women, market men, market leaders, keke, napepe operators, Okada operators, all of us are in this together. And together we shall achieve our purpose. Together we shall be victorious. Do not do or operate your business on Tuesday, the 28th of June of this very month. Those who will be going to Abuja, as we always do, you must be conscious of your environment security-wise, and we have always behaved ourselves that Chukwabiyama and our ancestors may take charge of the proceedings of that very day. Therefore, on Tuesday, do as you have always been doing and come and in your numbers. Come in your numbers to Abuja and show solidarity with our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. There has been some messages, or should I say comments, that has been emanating from the cabal that is lording it over the inhabitants of the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. I heard that the one who who is going by the name Buhari as the president of the zoo, and all those who are in the same book and the same page, working for the same agenda with him, they have been moving from country to country, or one office to one office, lobbying for the international community to designate this very peaceful movement championed by IPOB, led by Nnamdi Kanu. This government that has no shame to designate this very peaceful movement championed by IPOB, led by Nnamdi Kanu, daily from north to south, east to west. Every day, the Fulani bandits, the Fulani herdsmen they are murdering on a scale that baffles reasonable people. They are killing, they are burning villages. Even they are using equipment that one now will begin to ask, is there any difference between these bandits, this Fulani terrorist organization or terrorist headsmen, and the Nigerian army? You begin to wonder if there is any difference, because you will see the use of military hardware that is only available to the Nigerian army being used to massacre people in southern Kaduna, being used to kill and pillage villages in Plateau State, and the Middle Belt as a whole. So the Nigerian government is watching while the fourth most I don't know, the number 4 terror group in the world index of terrorism or terror groupings is, murdering every day in their country. They are looking the other way. They are not bothered. This organization, these Fulani herdsmen, Fulani terror, they have already been designated by world civilized nations as a terror group. But the Nigerian government has not done the same. And they have made themselves a laughingstock by now designating a very, very peaceful movement as a terror group and beginning or, moving around, calling nations, bribing nations, using our resources to compromise nations in order to convince them, to close their eyes to the atrocities of the Fulani and bandits that Buhari, so to speak, whether the one that is dead or the one that is still representing him is their patron or their patron. They are the patron of all these Miyetti Allah, that is the umbrella group that oversees the activities of Fulani herdsmen across the zoo. And these Miyetti Allah, as they call themselves, they are part of this very government. And the government is doing as if they don't know where the problem of the killings in the northern, western, eastern, and southern part of the zoo, who are responsible of these killings. They know who are responsible. They know IPOB is not a terror organization, cannot be a terror organization. They know that IPOB is pursuing a genuine cause. But the problem that they have is that the cause IPOB is pursuing is antithetical, completely opposite to the agenda which they have. In fact, IPOB has become the only stumbling block to the full accomplishment of the agenda of the Fulani to completely Fulanize every inhabitant of the zoo, take over your land forcefully, your ancestral land, make nonsense of your values, and then force you to become a Muslim, whether you want it or you don't want it. They know, the zoo knows, that IPOB is the only force, the only voice of those who are not willing to give up their heritage for the Fulanis to take over. Therefore, they thought the way to achieve their aim is to cajole the international community into thinking that these people are actually a threat to their interests. I mean, now the interest of the West, not the interest of the Fulani. Of course, to the interest of Fulani, we are a threat, and we will continue to be a threat because we will not live to see our land overrun by anyone. It does not matter for what reason. Now, they as they have always been, they are at their last effort to stop the march of the children of Myanmar to freedom. So they flew that kite of bribing and cajoling the international community to tag IPOB a terror organization. The BBC tried to help them. It did not stick. It did not stick because we went to Brussels, the headquarters of the European Union, or the European Union and nations. We went to their headquarters and they heard our voice. They heard the voice of people who have a reason to make their voices heard. Therefore, the disappointment of the zoo that 1 million man march took place, their disappointment is enormous. But we don't care. That's not our business. Our business is to focus on our core objectives and core goals without letting anything to distract us or dampen our spirit in any manner. Now, for you to understand, when I say, and when Ocean I say that it is IPOB that is the problem of the zoo, in the sense that it is IPOB that is it is only IPOB that is the problem, that the Fulani, represented by the cabal in the presidency at this moment, IPOB is their only obstacle. IPOB is their only problem. That is why a person who calls himself the president does not know. Of course, he cannot know. How can he know when he does not have even a secondary school certificate? He cannot, or well, if he doesn't know, he must have advisors. He has an attorney general that should advise him that court matters before the court. He has in fact, making public statements for a person in his position is a no-go. But no, they don't care. They don't care because they want to intimidate the judge. They want to intimidate the judiciary. As they intimidated the National Assembly. They, of course, already intimidated the judiciary in a way, but they are not satisfied because they are still pursuing their objective or their agenda or their plan to bring everybody under the jackboot of the cabal in Aso Rock. Now, Buhari was making a statement in one of their meetings, Commonwealth Head of Government meetings in Rwanda, and he said that that our leader jumped bail. Do you all know why he went into this issue of jumping bail? Because that is the crux of the matter that will come up on the 28th. That is the crux of the matter. Because he is trying to influence, he is trying to intimidate the judge to believe that Onyendu jumped bail. Therefore, he does not merit to be granted bail again. This is all where this is playing to. But we can dissect him, we can analyze him, we can analyze what they do, we can dissect what they do. We already think ahead of them. And we know that their plan is dead on arrival. So the incident that happened in 2017, September, at the residence of our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, in Afaruku, this has become an international knowledge. In fact, it's not just a public knowledge. It is public international knowledge, because those they do not know that information is in the hands of states and countries, civilized countries around the world. That incident that happened in our leader's compound, Bonyeze, that abomination that they committed in that land. In fact, even the repercussions of that desecration of the palace of the stool of Afaruku Ibeku, the repercussions will still fall on them. They don't know yet, and they will not even know when that time will come. What will be what they can't put their hand on what will be happening to them. But let me leave that for now. The incident on September of 2017 is acknowledged at the that the world community and world government, it is at their disposal. So they will actually be laughing at Buhari when he's making such comments that our leader jumped to bail. And we remember that the judge herself said she is interested in knowing exactly what transpired. Now, this man is trying to be faster than his shadow. He's trying to be smarter than a half, if I will say it that way, by making such a comment when he sent his battalion of soldiers with armored vehicles and helicopter gunship to a peaceful community and into the home of the king of that very community with the simple instruction to kill anything that is moving or that was moving on that day. They mowed down our youths. Our youths had to sacrifice their lives to ensure that their leader is safe in order to continue the battle, because they say he who runs away runs to fight another day. They were so disappointed that they did not. In fact, when our leader was incommunicated for 1 year, they were already celebrating. Enemies were partying, believing that they have achieved what they wanted to achieve. But they didn't reckon with Chukwu Abiyama, and they did not reckon with the spirits of our ancestors. They did not even reckon with the spirit that guides Onyendu, because they don't know the spirit that guides him. And when our leader resurfaced, it was a blow and a shock to them. Now they are regurgitating the same useless, parroting that useless message that Onyendu jumped bail. How jumping bail when Onyendu told them he will storm Abuja with 2 million Biafrans? They were scared, because if we marched to Abuja with 2 million Biafrans, they will know, of course, that Biafran has come. And then they said this we will not allow it to happen, and what they did was to go and attempt to murder him. I will not, I will leave this issue of Buhari and his statements. I will leave it as it is for now. But I can assure Biafrans that what he's trying to achieve, what Buhari is trying to achieve, what the cabals are trying to achieve, what their intention to intimidate the judge on Tuesday, we leave that into the hand of Chukwu Abiyama, and we ask Chukwu Okike to take absolute control and absolute charge. And of course, I in Zipu, we are sending our ancestors to go into battle. We are telling them, we are calling upon them. We are calling upon the spirit that owns the land of Biafra. They must not abandon their children, or yes, their child. They must not abandon their servant. They must not abandon Onyendu, and Chukwokike, of course, will not abandon him. Whether they like it or not, victory for our leader is assured, and the freedom of the Biafran people is ordained in heaven. Why the zoo, the Nigerian government, through their military, is causing mayhem in the southeast is not far from the same reason why they are going around asking nations to designate IPOB a terror organization. That is what our people must bear in mind. That is what you must understand. IPOB cannot, in fact, be involved. It is beyond us to be involved in the atrocities and barbarism that has been happening in our land, and that may continue to happen until our leader comes out. Because the enemy, they are not sleeping and they are not giving up. And that's why we must not be asleep, and we must not also give up. It is a battle that we are into. A battle of, in fact, the survival of a race. We must not be 1 million to do this battle. When said he needed 100 men, and I can assure you that 100 men is not what our people may even be thinking. That 100 men are people who are spiritually pure, who are spiritually in tune with the objective of this struggle, and who are doing all that needs and needed to be done daily for victory to be ours, and for Chukwokike to take glory. Just recently, we were talking about the murder, the kidnap, the beheading of the lawmaker, Anambra State lawmaker. Recently, they went again. Another ex-lawmaker was kidnapped in Obo. He was kidnapped, and ransom was paid, and they still did what? They still murdered this man. And as I'm speaking to you, a couple of days again, another bishop was kidnapped in Nnewi. What is our people must use their common sense. And I can tell you now tonight, without equivocation, if IPOB ever kidnapped any man and took ransom and put it into this trouble, Biafra will not come. Because that is not the restoration of Biafra. Is not even what many of us are looking at. Yes, there will be a physical restoration of the kingdom of heaven on earth. There will be a physical restoration, a geographical entity that is called Biafra. Yes, that will happen. But the major thing, that the restoration of Biafra is a spiritual restoration to the ways of our ancestors, to the ways of old, to the values that made us what and who we are, to the values that made it possible for our ancestors to be hot commodity in the East, the West. I'm talking about the Eastern Hemisphere, Western Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, and Northern Hemisphere of this very earth. But that story, like Oyendu will say, it is maybe the time has not come for us to actually make all of you understand who you truly are. That is not my duty tonight. I will leave it for our leader when he comes out. He will educate all of you and all of us. Because the physical restoration of Biafra is married with the spiritual restoration of Biafra. So that we who are pursuing that restoration in physical form. If we dabble into criminality, these killings and barbarism that is happening in our land, this spillage of innocent blood, these kidnappings and ransom taking, if we do that, Biafra is not coming. Don't deceive yourself. That is why we removed ourselves. But the enemy, in order to try and achieve their objective and purpose, they are now committing those crimes in our land and then pointing, turning around, like our people will say, you will use a machete and cut hit a tree in the forest or in the bush, and you come out in the paths where people walk, and you begin to ask who did that. Onyebu. So they will commit these atrocities. They are hoping, but I thank Chukwu Abiyama. Their crime must not be used to stop Biafra. It cannot, because we did not commit those crimes. Now they are thinking that if they continue to spill the blood to desecrate our land, it will delay or stop the coming of Biafra. It will only bring destruction upon their head, and they shall mark this day. Those who are spilling the blood of the innocent in our land. What awaits you, the destruction that awaits you and your generation, you cannot fathom it, because you have actually challenged the spirit to a battle, and that spirit that owns our land. Now they are committing these crimes and using it and telling the world community that look at these people. Yeah, they are killing people in the east. They are causing anarchy in the east. They are the people causing the same atrocities. They are the people using their media to project IPOB as a violent group. They are the people using international media to disseminate the falsehood that IPOB may be in some way involved in all these crimes that is happening in our land. And I'm telling the world community tonight, and I'm telling those who are listening, Biafrans and friends of Biafra, it is not part of our plan, neither is it part of our modus operandi, neither is it part of our agenda to spill the blood of Biafrans in our land. We cannot do that, because if we do that, if we are using our own hands, to delay the coming of Biafra. So I will leave this for now. And I want to move on to a very, very disturbing development. And this is just a warning I want to give. That warning is to those who call themselves part of this noble movement. This warning is to those who may be in one way or the other saddled with some responsibility as a principal servant, or you are not even saddled with any responsibility, but you are part of this noble family of IPOB worldwide, led by Mazi Chika Kanu. Please and please and please, the only objective of IPOB, the only agenda of IPOB, that Nnamdi Kanu is the supreme leader. The only objective we have is to ensure the restoration of Biafra. We are neither interested in the Nigerian zoo politics, nor do we even care about their politics. There is no room for Nigerian politics in IPOB. There is no space for anybody, whether be you a principal officer or not, to use the hallowed platform of IPOB to engage in politicking of the zoo. We know we rejected many of them. You know, that was the time that the Anebog was them. We are forming out. These things, we have passed through that stage. We are at a critical stage. We are at the almost at the finishing line, and we cannot at this very moment allow ourselves to be distracted. Don't read between the lines. I'm not going to name anybody's name here, but my concern is to ensure that this family that our leader has left in the care of this leadership, that we do not derail in any manner. Therefore, don't use IPOB forums, don't use IPOB platforms. Not even, of course, our radio broadcaster will not even there to use our hallowed broadcasting platform to propagate the zoo politics or to make any campaign. If I get you, what happened to those who call themselves autopilots? It may be very, very easier for them than what will happen to you if you use IPOB platform for the zoo politics. So to be forewarned is to be forearmed. I'm not going to dwell on this for any reason, but the message is clear. We must concentrate. We must concentrate. We must devote our time and energy to doing what we have been called out to do. Nothing else and nothing more. Leave those who want to continue to play the zoo politics. Let them do their zoo politics. IPOB is a movement that has been set up to pursue the freedom and liberty of the Biafran people. We must wait for our leader. If our leader, whatever directive he may give us going forward, we of course will follow his directive. But for now, I am telling every IPOB family member, do not use our platform to play the zoo politics, please. I'm still very much happy of the outing in Brussels, honestly, because I want to also use this opportunity to send my warmest regard and appreciation to our partners in Catalonia. In fact, people, we will not tell you much, but you people will be seeing the result of that event of 14th and 15th of June as we move ahead, and we are ready to do what has to be done to make sure that our case is on the front burner and this receives the desired or deserved attention from the international community. I have some announcements to make tonight. A very important announcement. First of all, IPOB does not operate any camp in this area that I'm going to mention tonight. IPOB does not operate any camp in some of these communities that I am going to mention this very evening. So anyone or group of persons claiming to be an ESN operative in the following communities are nothing but criminals. Mukbo in Nnewi South local government area. IPOB does not have any ESN camp in Mukbo in Nnewi South local government area. IPOB does not have any ESN camp in Osu Hitokwa in Osu local government area. IPOB also does not have any ESN camp in Lilu, in Osumo, and the adjoining communities that is found in Ihiala local government area. In fact, in the whole of Ihiala local government area, we do not have any IPOB ESN camp in Ihiala. We are saying this that people should stop somehow believing that this noble family is involved in untoward activities. And we are also saying this for the benefit of these communities who may one way or the other may be believing that somehow IPOB are responsible for some of these mushroom camps that sprouted in these areas, that these criminals, these evil and wicked instruments that the government is using in our land, that they are part of this very noble family. No, they are not. That these communities must take note of this. These people are not part of us, never will be part of us, because they do not understand what it takes to be in IPOB for that matter. Therefore, I am also directing Anambra ESN Commander. Anambra ESN Commander, you have to pay attention to this very message tonight. And if he is not listening, those under him that are listening, and those who are in charge of him that are listening, you must pass this message to him, in fact, very urgently. And that message is this: there is a standing order. There is a standing order that has been passed down to you, the Anambra ESN Commander. And this standing order was passed to you through the appropriate channels. Therefore, starting from tonight, today, the 25th of June, 2022, I want to see that order implemented without further delay. The standing order that was passed down to you, the Anambra Commander, you must implement that order starting from tonight. Starting from tonight, I want to see that order implemented, please. And we also are making sure that those who are with us in this battle are those who are supposed to be with us. And we have made some very critical changes in Anambra IPOB leadership as it concerns the Anambra South Senatorial Zone. The following are the principal servants that has been appointed to take charge of this very senatorial zone. Anambra South Senatorial Coordinator is now Mazi Agubosi Ejike. Mazi Agubosi Ejike is the new Anambra South Senatorial Coordinator. Mazi Obumwedim Ihekwe is the new IPOB Nnewi South Local Government Area Coordinator. Mazi Obumwedim Ihekwe is the new Nnewi South Local Government Area Coordinator. Mazi Ikenna Ezekafo is the Agwata Local Government Area Coordinator. Ikenna Ezekafo is the Agwata Local Government Area Coordinator. Mazi Uche Okolimwosu takes over as the Ihiala Local Government Area Coordinator, while Mazi Okunna Udebunam is in charge of Ekuzigo Local Government Area as the coordinator. Mazi Ikenna Ezekafo is the Agwata Local Government Area Coordinator. Mazi Uche Okolimwosu is Iyala Local Government Area Coordinator, and Mazi Okunna Udebunam is Ekuzigo Local Government Area Coordinator. And we have Mrs. Ekwenye Amaka as the Anambra South Senatorial Woman Leader, while Mrs. Nwa Eke Ifeyinwa is the new Anambra Central Woman Leader. Ekwenye Amaka is Anambra South Senatorial Woman Leader, and Mrs. Nweke Ifeyinwa is the Anambra Central Woman Leader. And in our midst as well, there are still some isolated individuals working full-time for the enemy. And when we discover you, we will, of course, do the needful. When we discover that you are in our midst for other objectives, we will do the needful. But before I go to this, we have some changes also in the zoo. We have some changes in the zoo as well, because we understood that some of those who were given the responsibility to grow the family, manage the family, lead the family in some part of the zoo, they do not understand what leadership is all about. So therefore, owing to engagement in actions that are antithetical to our objectives, Team Jeremiah is hereby indefinitely suspended and relieved of his position as the Southwest Regional Coordinator. Mazi Etim Jeremiah is from tonight relieved of his position and suspended indefinitely. In his place, we have a new Southwest Regional Coordinator in the person of Mazi Ejiro Fidelis Obodago. Mazi Ejiro Fidelis Obodago, presently coordinating Lagos State, becomes the new Southwest Regional Coordinator. And he will be assisted by Mazi Madoabuchi Mwani. He will assist Ejiro as the Deputy Southwest Regional Coordinator. Also, Mazi Chika Edoziem, again for gross act of indiscipline and insubordination and actions antithetical to our objectives and principles. Mazi Chika Edoziem is, in fact, removed and expelled from IPOB. He will be replaced. Mazi Chika Edoziem was the Northern Regional Coordinator. And because they do not understand why they have been given their responsibility, he has been relieved of his duty and expelled from IPOB. The new Northern Regional Coordinator is Mazi Chika. Mazi Chika is the new Northern Regional Coordinator. And he will be deputized by Mazi Emeka Nwankwo. Emeka Nwankwo Mazi will deputize Mazi Chika as the Deputy Northern Regional Coordinator. Lagos State will have as the new Lagos State Coordinator Mazi Afioma Okuwe Dinuwe John. Mazi Afioma Okuwe Dinuwe John is from tonight appointed the new Lagos State Coordinator, and he will be deputized. He will be deputized by Mazi Ndukwe Dike as the Deputy Coordinator, Lagos State. The leadership of IPOB Osun State, the leadership, the totality of the executive and leadership of IPOB Osun State is hereby dissolved for activities that are detriment to our objectives. They are dissolved, and Mazi Eberichukwu is expelled from IPOB. Osun family shall be reconstituted in a very short time. We cannot carry baggages along with us in this very battle, especially at this very critical time. And back home in Biafra land, we have some women that have constituted themselves as the weak link through which the enemy has been abducting, kidnapping, murdering, organ harvesting of our youths in Delta State. And this very person, Nkiruka Azuzu, the Delta State woman leader, sometimes I wonder how these people manage to come into our midst in the first place. But we'll leave that for another day. Nkiruka Azuzu, Delta State woman leader, is expelled from IPOB. She is expelled from IPOB. Ifeoma Chukwu, also a former Enugu State woman leader, she as well is expelled from IPOB. And finally, Bridget Ifeoma, she also resides in Enugu Achara Layout Zone 2, and she was also formerly part of the medical corps team in Enugu. She as well, Bridget Ifeoma, she as well is expelled from IPOB. These women have constituted. In fact, I was even wondering why some of them still remained. They were part of those Omuada and the rest of them that had tried to infiltrate our men on the ground, our camps, and betrayed a lot of them. A lot of them, they betrayed them. Many, we don't even know where they are today. Some of those that answered the call of these women, we are not sure, but we are looking. We are not sure whether they are alive or not. This is what these women did in our midst. And because of this, all women leaders in Biafra land, you are precluded. Henceforward, you are debarred from contacting our men on the ground. And you must cease any visit. If you have ever been visiting any of our camps, don't ever visit our camps again, because you will probably not be able to say what happened to you. All women leaders in Biafra land, from tonight, you have no business with our men on the ground. You do not even take anything. You say you want to give them food. It's not of your business. The IPOB leadership is ensuring that their well-being and welfare, to the best of our ability, is assured. Therefore, I would not want to hear any more from tonight that a woman leader, was contacting a commander or one of our men on the ground, or to even make it worse, or trying to visit any of our camps. This is why, they will become the easiest target of the zoo security apparatus, and they will reveal the locations of our camps to the enemy. Therefore, any one of you that disregards this directive tonight, count yourself as expelled from being part of this great movement, if you disregard this directive tonight. Wonderful Biafrans, great and hardcore IPOB family members, we must neither retreat nor surrender. The battle is hitting on, and we must not let go. We must not relent. We must not, let the momentum die down. No, we must increase the momentum that is happening at this moment. And those of you who can pray, who can fast, from tonight, do your fastings and do your prayers. All shall be tailored and channeled towards the safety of our leader and the freedom of our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Come the 28th of June, Tuesday, 2022. All that you must do tonight, and all of you, all of us, who also can call upon heaven and call upon Chukwu Abiyama, we must not hesitate to cry up to him. Anyway, we must have gone against his in any way we must have gone against his laws or rules. In any way that we must have done anything that is abominable in his sight, he must forgive us. Chukwu Abiyama must forgive us and grant us and grant our leader victory next week. Biafra for us is not just a name. Biafra for us is not just our identity. Biafra is not just a heritage that we are trying and fighting to restore. Biafra means everything for us. It is our being. It is the air that we breathe. And it is only Chukwu Kabiama whom we praise in the names that we bear. It is only him that we worship, the children of Chukwu. It is only him that Biafrans worship and bow down before him, adore and praise and glorify his name. And we call upon him tonight. I call upon him tonight to keep all of you safe in your homes, in your businesses. May he continue to prosper all of you. May he continue to give you wisdom as we march on in this very battle. And may he continue to preserve, protect, guide, and empower our leader, Mazi Nnamdi. What we ask of you, Chukwu Abiyama, is to grant him victory. Make him to be a stumbling block against our enemies. And make all their conspiracies come to nothing against him. All their conspiracies against him, put confusion in their midst, as you put confusion in the council of Ahithophel when he was planning evil with his co-conspirators against David. Therefore, with all those who are conspiring against Onyendu, all your counsel shall be put into confusion and shall come to nothing. And Chukwu Okike shall be glorified. And of course, we all shall bless his name in a free, sovereign, and independent Biafran nation. Stay well, and the Chukwu Okike be with you all. From me, from here, I want to say good night to all of you. And thank you for listening.